Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Yo estoy más o menos un poco enfermo. Un poco enfermo. Today we're going to be talking about subject adjective agreement, which means the subject, like yo, and the verb soy will say I am, have to agree with my gender. So for me, I use the he, him pronouns, él pronoun. So my adjective either needs to end with an O for almost all of the adjectives, or it's going to be an adjective like intelectual or inteligente, adjectives that are already not gendered. So we first need to uh, learn and remind ourselves of these subjects and verbs for to be. So first one we have is yo soy, I am. Tú eres, you are. Él, ella, usted, or ella, es. All of those go with es. Usted, remember, is the you are formal, or the you in the formal. Ella is for like they are singular. Other could say it is. I prefer the they are. Then we have nosotros or nosotras. Somos, that's for a group. So anybody plus me. So if it's Kyle y Devin y yo vamos a la escuela, we go to escuela. You could replace Kyle, Devin, and I with somos, or with nosotros, I should say. Vosotros is anybody and you. So if I'm talking to other people like Kyle, Devin, and you, y tú, I could use vosotros in place of those pronouns. Last ones we have over here, we got ellos, ellas, ellas. Three ways to say they, plural. These are all plural on this side. Three ways to say it. We have if it's a masculine group or masculine and feminine, you can use ellos. You could use ellas to describe that group. Um, ellas is if it's all feminine people, and then ellas is if it's non-binary people. So a group of non-binary people, abbreviated BPL people. Or ustedes. Ustedes is used all over to say you all are. And vosotros, I like to think of it as y'all, because it's only used in España. Let's keep her going. Okay, so to fill in these uh, blanks, you're going to be filling these in with the correct form of ser. So if I say el something inteligente, I just go back to my chart. Which one of these goes with el? Which verb form of ser goes with el? Okay, so I found el, es. Perfect. Maria y Teresa. These are the harder ones when there are two people. If there are two people, is it going to be on the singular side or is it going to be on the plural side? It's going to be on the plural side. Let's see if I can point to the correct direction. It's right there. All right, so if it's two people, Maria y Teresa, I try to imagine which pronoun could I use to replace Maria y Teresa. I'm going to assume that they're feminine. All right, so let me go to this side. Where do I have plural and feminine? Right here, ellas. So then I think, okay, I could replace those two names with ellas. The reason I'm doing that is so I know which form of the verb I'm going to use, which is son. So I would place son tímidas. They are timid or shy. One of my favorite forms right here, Carlos y yo. All right. So this is Carlos and I. What subject pronoun could I use to replace Carlos and I right off the bat? I'm thinking, oh, I could say we go to the store. So I've got form of we up here. I've got nosotros or nosotras. I put in somos for my verb. So I'm just pretending that I'm replacing these subjects with we. All right. The reason I do that is so I know which form of ser to use. So I'm going to put in somos. These replacing with the verbs, but in my head and maybe even on the paper, I'm replacing the subject with a pronoun rather than these, which are nouns. Carlos is a noun. I'm going to replace it with a pronoun so that I know which form goes in here. Which form of ser? Tú, no. But okay, so it's just tú. So I go find my tú. Okay, it goes with eres. Done. Tú eres. Mi amigo y tú. Anybody else and you is going to either be the you all are, vosotros, or the ustedes form. So I could either use sois or I could use son in that blank. Mi amigo y tú sois altos. Mis profesores. Is that one profesor or is that more than one profesor? It's more than one because it looks like it has S's on it. Mis profesores. So is it going to be on the singular side or is it going to be on the plural side? It's going to be on the plural side. Now, it doesn't have gender, so we can pick, it doesn't matter. It's either going to be ellos, ellas, ellas, they're all profesores. What verb goes with the ellos, ellas, ellas form? It would be son. Son. So I go back here. I'm going to put mis profesores son trabajadores. Right? That is some basics of how to use pronouns and then get to the verb section, the correct verb form that we want to use. All right, let's look at gender and adjective agreement. So when you have adjectives, first it looks like we're just going to say uh, some of the stuff that I already said. If it's masculine, you'd either use like el, ellos, or a name that might be masculine. Feminine, these are the pronouns or nouns. You could use ella, Samantha, nosotras. Singular, yo, tú, él. Those are all the singular things on the singular side. Plural, we know those are going to be more than one. The ellos, ustedes, nosotros, vosotros. All the things that were on the right side of the chart. And then I remembered to add in the non-binary. Okay, so we got the singular, which would be ella. That is they singular. This could be any name. Non-binary plural. This is they, them, but plural. It's ellas, ellas, and that is on the right side of the chart. This, again, can be any name. So masculine adjectives often end with O or OS if they're plural. Feminine adjectives end with A or AS. AS if they're plural. Singular adjectives, O, A, R, N. There are some adjectives that most end with O or A. Some end with R and N. If they end with R or N, to make them plural, we add ES, but if they end with O or A, we just add the S. So now for the non-binary ones, these ones are a little different. You either end them with E or the X, or the X. Both of these have the pronunciation of at the end, graciose, whether or not you end them with an E or an X. If it's plural, like multiple people, Juan y Sara son gracioses. Gracioses end with ES or XS. Both same pronunciation. Here are a couple of things that I wanted to show you, special cases with the non-binary. So if they normally in the masculine or feminine end with CA, it's going to end with que. Because if you use CE, it's se. Graciose versus no, different word. If it ends with COS or CAS, it ends with QES. You need to think of a word like this. Oh, chico. COVID cough. Chico or chica is going to become chique or chiques. This one's kind of like our amigo or our amiga becomes amigue or amigues. Which one? This one we've seen before. All right. Let's see. Oh, this will take you to a link if you wanted to click on that like me. Clicking on this photo will take you to a link. Here's some more examples. I'm not going to go through all these examples. You can read them. You can see them. All right. This is what you're finally going to do. You're going to fill in the last letter or letters And notice there are a couple of non-binaries in here. You need to end the sentences in what goes at the end of the sentence, el periodo, or the punto. Make sure you're paying attention to how many subjects there are. So if it says Juana y Sara, you have two subjects, which means that this thing needs to be plural. Rocco y Javier, two subjects needs to be plural. Juan, Julia y yo, plural. Carla es just one subject. All right. Don't check your answers yet. Maybe think about trying it on your own. If you go beyond that, you can check your answers. Any questions? Reach out. Hopefully this helped.